You have 5 gymnastics moves named after you, right? So do you have a favorite move, and can you still do all 5 of the moves?
That's funny. I can actually still do 4 out of the 5.
Oh.
Would we see another gymnastics move named after her this year? But a more pressing question is, would we be seeing Simone Biles at the Paris Olympics in a few months? Now that's a question that begs to be answered, and in a few more months, we'll have an answer to that. The only question that remains is Simone Biles ready for it? Many would unilaterally agree that she is, in fact, more than ready to compete in Paris. I mean, being the most decorated female gymnast ever has to mean something, right? Nevertheless, with just a few more months to go until the U.S. gymnastics team for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games will be announced at the U.S. Olympic Team Trials in Minneapolis, Minnesota, it's now time to impress. Although some may argue that Simone Biles does not need to impress anyone at this point in her career. Her long list of accolades are enough proof of her brilliance, and her name alone speaks of how impressive she is. In fact, gymnastics has long witnessed the progress of Simone Biles from a junior star to a historic Olympian. As a matter of fact, the Olympic legend is the proud owner of a business administration degree from the University of the People, a tuition-free online university for students from all over the world. She previously shared that she studied at the Benfer Elementary School in Harris County before choosing to opt out of the traditional classroom as a middle schooler and started homeschooling. This decision allowed her to up her training hours from 20 to 32, helping her improve as a gymnast. This appeared to be a great move, in terms of her journey to being the best gymnast there is. That said, it doesn't come as a surprise that since her terrific debut at the World Championships in 2013, it's mostly been an upward journey for her. Everything was going well until Simone opted out of the team final in the Tokyo Olympics when she suffered from the twisties. For those not familiar with the term twisties, it's a mental block that causes gymnasts to lose track of their position while midair. And so, USA Gymnastics announced shortly after that Biles had withdrawn from the individual all-around final, citing a need to prioritize her mental health. Whenever you get in a high-stress situation, you kind of freak out, Simone shared. I have to focus on my mental health and not jeopardize my health and well-being. Simone also talked about why she made the decision to not compete and how she hoped it would open doors for bigger conversations. We're not just athletes or entertainment, we're human too. She said before adding, put your mental health first. That's more important than any medal you could win. During her hiatus, Simone focused on everything that her personal life demanded from her. This included spending quality time with her family, welcoming her niece, building a house from scratch, and marrying her longtime partner, NFL icon Jonathan Owens. Then, after 2 years of staying away from the stage, she announced her comeback in June and made her historic comeback at the place that started it all. The World Championships 2023 in Antwerp witnessed the Olympian work her magic on the bars and beams. There, fans were mesmerized to see that Simone's spark never diminished after witnessing the champion bag 4 golds at the event, bringing her total World Championship medal count to 30. More than that, though, the event was special for many reasons. One of which is because, in her words, Antwerp will always hold a special place in my heart. The first time I got a skill named after me was in this arena, and 10 years later, I got my 5th skill named. Add to that the fact that this win also marked the moment she was crowned as the most decorated gymnast across the globe. Even so, fans and sports enthusiasts alike still want to see Simone Biles compete, and that means many are rooting for her in the upcoming Paris Olympics. On that note, Simone's every move appears to be under the watchful eye of the general public. This includes Simone's presence in downtown Houston a few days ago. This is because the 7th annual Simone Biles International Invitational kicked off at the George R. Brown Convention Center on February 2nd. Just so you know, for the past few years, the icon has been organizing the Biles Invitational, an international-level championship to give those like her a chance to blossom. Simply put, the Invitational aims to promote young gymnasts across the globe so they get a boost to make it big in the sport. With a wide variety of events spanning 3 days, the 2024 Invitational expects thousands of gymnasts competing for various titles. To be exact, over 3,500 athletes competed this year. Additionally, a panel of Simone and 5 USA national team members will be there to greet and chat with young athletes who look up to these amazing gymnasts and give them autographs. See? That's the kind of influence Simone Biles has on the younger generations. In fact, British artistic gymnasts Ruby Evans and Poppy Grace Stickler gushed at the thought of sitting next to Simone at last year's World Gymnastics Championships. Courtesy of coming second to the U.S. team in qualification, the Brits competed alongside their American counterparts in the final, due to 2 of 8 qualified nations competing on each of the 4 apparatus. So, the pair were literally sitting next to Simone, who would, by the competition's end, become the most successful gymnast at Worlds ever, with 30 medals including 23 titles. It felt unreal, Evans said in an exclusive interview at the event in Belgium. I used to watch her on my telly, and now I'm just sat next to her, and she's just so chill. She just sits there, has a little talk, and just gets on there and just does it. 16-year-old Evans was making her World's debut, and after competing on vault and floor in Belgium to help GB to a 6th place finish, would become the first senior Welsh woman to compete at the blue ribbon event for 17 years. 17-year-old Stickler, on the other hand, was at her 2nd World Championships, but was a reserve at the 2022 edition, where the team claimed 2nd place to not only secure the best ever result for British women, but also obtain a 5-person quota berth for Paris 2024. On being sat beside Simone, she excitedly shared, "I sat next to Ruby. Oh my days, she's literally right next to me." Again, that's how far up the ladder Simone Biles is, that even competitors are enthused to see her up close and personal. Now, the question is, will they be seeing her again in Paris? Well, that remains to be seen, since the U.S. gymnastics team for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games will not be announced until the U.S. Olympic team trials in Minneapolis, Minnesota in July. That said, gymnasts will soon have the chance to try making the team. In fact, February marks the first major competition of the 2024 U.S. Elite Gymnastics season, the Winter Cup Challenge, set for February 23rd to 25th in Louisville, Kentucky. But regardless of the rosters, the battle to make Team USA for the Paris Olympics could be even more intense than in past years, at least according to 2008 Olympic silver medalist Alicia Sacramone, who is now part of the U.S. team leadership and served as the squad's high-performance strategic lead last year. She said, "This is definitely going to be one of the tougher teams to make." She explained that veterans are coming back alongside younger seniors who are making a push to try and make a name for themselves. Simone Biles, for her part, shared her thoughts about making the Olympic team and competing in Paris, saying, "If I don't make it to Paris, it won't absolutely crush me. Who else would we wish to see in Paris? Watch this to find out."